Hello again, hockey fans. Are you ready to brave the wild with me, your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan? Brave the Wild is available on all of your favorite podcasting apps, and I thank each and every one of you once and always for downloading and listening to the show. It is a great pleasure to be back on board with you once again today. As well, the Olympics are on. There's no hockey right now. There's no NHL hockey. A little bit of AHL for a minute, and then off for a week, basically, that kind of thing. But that's AHL hockey for you, though the Minnesota Wild do have a AHL player, Iowa Wild player, in the Olympics playing for Slovakia. Samuel Hlavaj. Probably never going to say it right, am I? Or Samuel Hlavaj. Okay, that's probably the best way to say it. But, yeah, well, he had a shutout, so great for him in his first game in the Olympics. So good for Samuel Hlavaj. I'm trying to get it right. I've been struggling with that forever. It's crazy to see him do so well in the Olympics, at least in one game so far, shutout. Not even showing the numbers if you go to certain pages, but I don't want to say anything bad about any pages. But yeah, he's been up and down. He's even played a game for the Iowa Highlanders, and he gave up 4 goals in that one. It's kind of weird for the Iowa Wild. He's giving up basically 3 goals in a third per game, 88.4%. And a lot of people do look at him as an up-and-comer. Apologize, I do have the sound on with the phone because I'm awaiting a Safe Light repair, Safe Light replace. Yes, sponsor. That's our sponsor today. Well, no, I'm just kidding. I guess a free plug to get the windshield fixed. Yeah, it was broken when I bought the car, so it's always fun. It's exciting, isn't it, though? But, yeah, so again, no NHL hockey, but we're going to keep up with things a bit, mostly the prospects. We'll talk about the Olympics a little bit. And I did put a poll out for fan interaction. Hopefully that'll get some conversation. I don't think it was too much there, unfortunately. It is what it is. People are probably like, I don't know. They're like, we don't care. But we'd hope people would be interested in some kind of a wild fix, or maybe that'll be next week. But prefer to keep up with things if possible. I'm sure THPN would like that. And, of course, DraftKings would appreciate that if I keep the show coming. Yeah, that's going to... I don't like sounds in the background too much, but it is what it is. Where do we go from here? Well, okay, we can look at the Olympics a little bit. Starting off with the women, they're 4-0. They've given up a single goal so far in the entire Olympics so far. Shutting out beating Czechia. This was the crabby game where they just needed to they need to hone their skills a little bit. Czechia 5-1. Other than that, Finland 5-0, Switzerland 5-0, and Canada 5-0. Wow. Well, okay, that's pretty cool. Gotta like what they're doing there. Now they're heading into the medal round, you can call it. It's the quarterfinals already, and the men haven't even started until today, so it's like, come on. It is what it is, though. It is what it is. It's annoying how you don't even see a box score. It's just an article, but that's okay. Don't have to babble on too much about box scores and such. I'm not really here to read off box scores to you. But incredible start, and yes, not a huge surprise that the women's Olympic team is probably on their way to a gold medal again. So quarterfinal, February 13th, that would be mañana, or tomorrow, versus Italy. So they're like the home team, you could say. Milano Row Ice Hockey Arena. And then otherwise it'll be Milano Sant'Agula Ice Hockey Arena. Rolls right off your tongue. That'd be the semifinal, Monday, February 16th, which I would hope the women's will get there. And then the bronze will... Probably not worry about that one. I hope Thursday, February 19th at 2:40. Interesting. And the next one, I don't know. There's possible different times, I guess. Either 1:10 p.m. or maybe they're replaying it or something. Weird, but the gold medal game would be to be decided in terms of the time and everything. That one's not official yet, like what day or whatever. But that's coming up. I would hope the U.S. women's are on their way to that. I would also hope the men are on their way to that as we try to head in that general direction, if humanly possible. I just love seeing stuff doing their little back and forth thing and not getting anywhere. I don't know why, jeez. Okay, sorry. So the men finally start today against Latvia. That'll all be in the same place, Milano Sant'Agula Arena. USA Network is the broadcast, and then to be decided as we move on, preliminary rounds here. Latvia, Denmark, and Germany. Denmark would be Saturday, and Germany would be Sunday. So that should be fun, I suppose. Well, of course, I would hope so. It'll be fun. I love keeping up with U.S. men's hockey, of course. Winter Olympics are okay, but I mean, I can't sit and watch snowboarding for an hour or skiing for an hour because you're just kind of watching the same thing happen over and over again. Maybe this one's more impressive than the other. They're all really good at it, and it's something none of us could ever dream of being able to do unless you just happen to be Olympic level of skiing or snowboarding ability, which I couldn't even dream of. Now, that's the one interesting part of it, because, wow, look what they can do. I mean, skiing down a hill at 70 miles an hour, or 65 or 70 miles an hour sounds like insane. Like me and my friend Paul were watching it for a minute after the Patriots didn't win the Super Bowl, much to my chagrin. Yes, I'm one of the few Patriot fans here. Everybody wanted Seattle for some stupid reason. What's wrong with you guys? But anyhow, I'm just kidding. 70 miles an hour, though. Yeah, that sounds kind of scary. And it's like one mistake, and yeah, ow. You're probably done for a long time, done doing anything athletic for a long time other than, rehabbing. So it's kind of scary. So that's the one yeah, but otherwise it gets very repetitious. I'd rather just watch hockey. If you want to watch hockey, if you want to watch Olympic sports, I think it's hockey for me. It's the best, and it would be so nice to see the U.S. men's team do it again. Crazy to think. 1980 was the last time. It truly was a miracle when you consider it was 46 years ago. And then before that, it was 20 years before. Interesting how the storyline is where Herb Brooks was the final cut in 1960, and they went on to win the gold medal. And then, of course, the other guy semi-recently. Just imagine being the last guy cut. It'd be sad. It would suck. But that's kind of how it goes, Now it would, of course, be Ralph Cox. I imagine. It would suck. It would totally suck, but again, it's one of those things, It's just one of those things. It's like you go for a job you really want, or you're just at least hoping to upgrade your position. Maybe it's not a great job, but it's better than where you're at, that type of thing. Yeah, and, you're like the last person, you finish second, or it's just somebody talking stupid and pretending you finished second when you really, who knows, you're tied with 19 other people. I don't know what to tell you, but it would suck. I do believe, yes, I believe I was the last one cut from a basketball team years ago, but we'll leave that. This isn't about me. So again, yeah, I don't know. It just would suck to happen to be in that position. Like you're there, you're gonna go, and then you're the last one. And Herb Brooks could absolutely relate with that guy, and yeah, because that was him too. And it was It was Herb Brooks in 1960, so that's where that goes. Hopefully the men can pull this off. It'd be absolutely great. I think before I even jump into the prospects, I should probably hop right into DraftKings. I don't believe there's anything. Yep, okay. Well, that's interesting. Yes, I thought there was something. No, that's the same one. Super Bowl 60 deserves a sportsbook built for the moment. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the Super Bowl 60, puts you right in the center of the biggest game of the year. Anything can happen during the Super Bowl, and DraftKings has your back with early exit. If your player goes down in the first half, you still get paid in cash. When your bet settles, no bonus bets, no waiting. While other sportsbooks don't offer injury protection, DraftKings covers the entire first half, even the second quarter. And early exit works on live bets too. Pre-game or in-game DraftKings has you covered. Obviously, again, it was a great game. Well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't a good game, really, because I wanted the Patriots to win, unfortunately. But both of the quarterbacks, I'm sure, disappointed people when it comes to the statistics. And ironically, as they talk about in Purple Mafia, it's a podcast, ironically, Drake May had a higher quarterback rating than Sam Darnold despite 2 interceptions, so it's kind of funny. But sports is funny that way, and that's kind of that's the challenge of it all, and I hope all of you did well with your bets during the Super Bowl. If you happen to do so, of course, now you got hockey to do that coming up soon, and probably with the Olympics as well, so keep up with that on DraftKings, no doubt about it. New to DraftKings, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777, which rolls right off your tongue, and visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois, 21 plus in most states. Void in Ontario, restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. So watch out for that. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.com/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright 2026. Well, here we go. Back to Brave the Wild. And yes, apologize. I was about the Super Bowl still, but that's how it goes. Sometimes that's the ad we have, and of course, again, you got plenty of options to bet in hockey. So. And unfortunately, we are in a miniature abyss because basketball is going into the All-Star game as well, All-Star weekend as well. So it's kind of an abyssy weekend. So you might as well, I don't know, be outside if it's going to be a little on the warmer. If it's going to be a little warmer this weekend, I do believe. So take advantage of that. And of course, well, there will be Olympic hockey, and you got your smart device. I tend to capitalize using that when being, could still be outside and have a game on, if possible, or possible. Now I'm babbling like a goofball, but of course we'll have a little fan interaction coming up. We'll look at the prospects as well, which I think is a lot of fun to do most of the time. The Iowa Wild have actually been winning a few games, which is unusual and good. They've actually won like a few games in a row here, like 3 in a row, so go Iowa. That's pretty surprising. David Spacek, 20 points in 37 games. He's a -6, which again is way, way, way better than it was in the past. So he's definitely improved defensively, and his offensive capabilities have definitely grown a bit. And I keep saying you got the wrong David and you got the wrong Spacek on when it comes to the Wild and the whole prospect situation. No, the wrong Juracek, not the wrong Spacek. You have the right Spacek. The other one's old and retired. Jaroslav Spacek. Jaroslav, I can at least pronounce that name correctly. Jaroslav, it's not that difficult. But you have the wrong David and you have the wrong Juracek. So the other one is with St. Louis and has a chance to be a pretty good player. We'll see, though. I mean, both of them did well at that junior level, so we'll see what they do beyond that. Both of them were dazzling. But and then here's the correct David, in my opinion. I'd rather have Spacek skating on Minnesota. Juracek right now down in the minors to kind of keep playing, which I think is wise. 6 points on the year in 16 games, and he's a -8. And only 16 freaking games, and he's a -8. For Spacek is a -6 in 37 games. Yeah, notice the little pause. It's like, doesn't that just, it's just, really? You know what I mean? It's one of those. Carson, it's one of those. You like when people say that? Well, I just said it. 42 games, 12 points for Carson Lambos, and a -4. Again, he's improved dramatically in that statistic. And it is nice to see the Iowa Wild playing better. Hunter Haight, who I voted for recently to be the out of like a group of prospects, including Hunter Haight, and I even Riley Haight. Excuse me, I get those guys mixed up a little bit. It's like I'm a Spacek guy, but I voted for Haight in terms of the most likely guy to be on Minnesota long term. Hunter Haight just kind of like, it feels like he just kind of slides in to a third line role with the Minnesota Wild. He's kind of more adjustable than some of the other guys, where Riley Haight has to be in the top 6. Spacek, I think, deserves to be in the NHL, but I don't know what the frickin' franchise is doing with him. Spacek deserves to be in the NHL. Spacek deserves to be in the National Hockey League. I said that 6 times, sorry, or whatever, how many. Don't want to be annoying. It's just, he does. That's all. Riley Mercer, looks like he's back with Iowa Wild. I know, he's back with Iowa. Well, the Heartlanders are the Wild, you know what I mean? Don't you just, I always bring this up because it's weird. There's 2 Wilds and there's 2 Iowas. You know what I mean? Isn't that annoying? Minnesota Wild, Iowa Wild, Iowa Heartlanders. Ugh. So just say the Heartlanders, the Iowa Wild, or the Minnesota Wild. Yeah, well, it would be nice if Riley Mercer was on the Minnesota Wild, but I don't know if he's getting there at the moment. It's funny too. It's interesting how he's played 24 games with the Heartlanders. Yeah, because I don't want to say Iowa. The Heartlanders at 3.13 goals against average, and the save percentage is 89.5. Yeah, with the Iowa Wild, 2.72 goals against average, and the save percentage about the same though. So okay, kind of does average out at the end of the day a little bit. It's just that he had a red hot start to his career with the Iowa Wild. The other good thing is he's 21 years of age, so he's got his whole life ahead of him and his whole career. He will turn 22 at the end of March, literally at the end of March, on the 31st. Bay Roberts Northfield? I think I'm saying that correctly. Or no, Newfoundland. That's not Northfield. Newfoundland. Yeah, it's like, come on. It would make sense. It's right there. Yeah, or the abbreviation adds up to Newfoundland. That's part of Canada. Kind of an interesting part of Canada, too, that you don't hear about a whole lot. Because it's a newly found land. Okay, maybe not like that, but it's interesting. I'm sure there's a lot of cool history there, and it's a pretty place for the most part. I actually have heard good things about it. I'm just not much of a traveler, that's all. Because I'm boring, right? Well, so me. Merit Huznadinov watched just to torture us. 26 points? Jeez. And he did have a hat trick, remember, a few weeks back. So, 52 games, 26 points, and he's a +9 for the Boston Bruins. He's a +9. I'd love to see Merit Huznadinov in a Wild uniform right now. You know, I mean, what did we do again? We just got like a big guy who's not that good. But then he magically is doing better as well. With was it the Pittsburgh Penguins ready to get traded again? I don't know. I just watched Rob Dillingham too, Timberwolves point guard that got traded away to the Bulls. Just watch. He's going to end up being better than the Timberwolves thought by just literally dumping him away. I know. I like the player the Timberwolves got. I know this isn't Timberwolves explosion, but the Wild didn't play this week, so sue me. I like who they got. It's just, I don't know. I always hate like trading away young players that have potential. You know what I mean? You just know they do, and you just know they're going to do better. You just know it, and then you trade them away. You give up on them too quick, and the Wild did that with Merit Huznadinov. Like Huznadinov and Dillingham, I don't know, bugs me a little bit. It just, I don't know, it just kind of eats at me a little. Ryan O'Rourke, yep, he's kind of been, there's not a whole lot to say there. 8 games in the AHL, 11 games in the ECHL. 1 lousy goal in 11 games. For the ECHL's Troy Rivieres Lions. At least you can say Lions without mispronouncing that one. O'Rourke did make nice progress last year from the year before, simply in the whole, he was a -30 in 23-24, and he was a -8 last year, so that's progress. It's just, I don't know, not enough progress, and he's 23 already, so that one I could understand moving on from. You could it just didn't seem like there was anything there. Where Huznadinov was already in the National Hockey League, so I don't know, it just bugs me. That one bugs me a little bit. Can you tell? Ryan Healy, Harvard, senior at Harvard, 9 points in 24 games, and he's even for the first time in his collegiate career, and he's a senior, of course. Senior year, anyway. Should we check on Michael Milne watch? So, yeah, we're going to have more of an extended prospect look since, again, there's no Minnesota games. Syracuse Crunch, AHL, nothing. Ouch. And a -4. Iowa Wild earlier this year. He had 5 points in 15 games. He's a -11 in 15 games. I know they struggled, but -11. I mean, they have been playing better, though. Big credit to, Greg Cronin. I think Greg Cronin's doing, I think he's a good coach. I do. Reger Lorenz has already passed last year's point total. In 44 games last year, he had only 20 points. This year, he's 22 and 31, and 11 goals, 11 assists. Not sexy numbers, but it's okay. Denver Pioneers, by the way, left winger from Calgary, Alberta. Ever heard of it? I have. Liam Ogren watch. What the heck? 9 points, 4 goals, 5 assists for the Vancouver Canucks in 26 games, and he's even. He's even with Minnesota. 18 games. Nothing. Again, I had a -3. 18 games, though. It's just like a nothing. It's just, but a -3, though. Let's not forget that part. I know, it's not that bad. It's just kind of weird. Jimmy Clark, a junior for the Gophers, who were playing better, and then not really. You know what I mean? They're not going to any tournament. Come on. Unless they magically win the Big Ten tournament or something. But it happens once in a while, and then maybe we can be the next Yale and win the whole thing, huh? Remember that? Remember who Yale beat in the first? Let's get off of that one. Yeah, that was 12 years ago. Anyhow, 29 games, 13 points, -2 for the left winger out of Edina, Minnesota. Go Hornets, I guess. Yeah, I like the Hornets. I do. And I don't eat cake either, but I like the Hornets. I'm not from Edina. We don't have a Golden Valley hockey team, damn it. It would have been the Vikings many years ago. Golden Valley High School got dissolved into Hopkins High many years ago. It joined with other schools that dissolved and became Hopkins High School or Armstrong. It went to one or the other. Where I currently live, I would be actually an Armstrong Falcon, but where I grew up and lived a huge chunk of my life is Hopkins Royals, and that's where I wound up in high school anyway. Anyhow, enough of that anecdote. Kalen Parker, who's not too far from high school, Michigan Tech Huskies. He is a right shot defenseman, 21 years of age, first year with Michigan Tech. He'd been playing a lot of junior hockey, and that's how college teams build sometimes. 32 games, 10 points, and a plus 11 for Michigan Tech. Good job, Kalen. Good job. That's not bad, honestly, really. Aaron Pionk. Now it's 8 points. Okay, he's kind of chipping away again after an extremely slow start to the season for the Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs, the Hermantown native. 8 points and a -8, though, for the Bulldogs. Hanging in there. He's one of those, I thought he was a high-scoring defenseman. He's a left shot D, but really slow start to the year. He had like 20 games at 1 point or something. It was weird. Rather high, yep. Kumbalainen, who's been down in the ECHL, and again, yep, getting that. He's building some confidence, and he's scoring down there. So Rasmus Kumbalainen down to the Heartlanders from Iowa. Well, from the Iowa Wild to the Iowa Heartlanders. You have to say the whole thing, otherwise it doesn't make any sense. He went to Iowa. Well, which one? You'd think the Wild, but no, Iowa Heartlanders.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Shopify is the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret, with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned and way more sales going through. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period for 3 months at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
On the Iowa Wild, 2 assists in 26 games and a -8. For the Iowa Heartlanders, 19 games, 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points, and even. And 10 penalty minutes, by the way. But, he's getting his confidence up. He was a second-round pick in 2023, 53rd overall. Hopefully Rasmus can get things rolling in the right direction, and we'll see how that turns out. I'm fairly doubtful, unfortunately, but we'll see. It ain't over yet. Another senior who's, a senior. There was an emphasis on senior. He's been playing some spectacular hockey. St. Paul native Charlie Stramel, Michigan State University, 28 games, 38 points. Yes, in 28 games. Yes, that's real. Plus 28. Years ago, that would have been unthinkable. Now he's looking like a legitimate star in the college hockey world. Hopefully he can become a legitimate NHL player. I can imagine his future first being Iowa Wild, but probably not for very long. Let's see. I'd love to see him skating for Minnesota in the not-too-distant future. That'd be wonderful. Stevie Leskovar, ready to kick some butt, I guess. 35 penalty minutes, but a physical player. He's been on the Iowa Heartlanders, though, not the Wild. 2 goals, 2 assists in 24 games, -10, unfortunately for him. Chase Wutzke, who I always talk about, faces a firing squad where he is because his goals against average is about 3.5. What the hell? Yet his save percentage is over 91. Yeah, doing pretty well technically. Where it's kind of the opposite of what's going on with Riley Mercer, where he's not facing that many shots and he's giving up, and he was giving up about 2.5 goals or so, a little about 2.7. Yeah, his save percentage is like 88. It's like, oh, dang. So not as good as you'd think, where Wutzke is doing pretty good for a 19-year-old down there, or wherever he is. Moose Jaw Warriors, WHL, west of here. 6'2", but he's very light, 156. That can't be right, can it? Whew. Well, I'm sure he's put on weight since that was added on there. Sebastian Solioni, actually, wow, at 5 points now. Okay. 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points, -1, which is pretty good for playing pro hockey in Finland. That's pretty good. -1, that's not bad at all. Plus 33, well, it's 33 games for a 19-year-old playing pro hockey. So good job. Right shot defenseman, 6'2", little size on the guy. I'm sure. Stud defenseman. And we'll see if he can turn into something. Kiviharo is now at double digits. Go, Aaron Kiviharo. 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points, 4 behind his career high last year of 16. He played at 52 games last year, had the 16 points, -3. He now has a career high in goals, though. 5 versus 4 last year. In 35 games, he's a -9, though, unfortunately, and 12 points. So, yeah, he had 5 assists in the World Junior Championships this past year in 6 games. So, and was a +4 for Finland. Born in Denmark, but he's a Finn. So go. Hope I'm not missing something here. Apologize for being semi-distracted. Thought this person would be here by now. Huh, interesting. Well, they will be. Ryder Ritchie, Ryder Ritchie, Boston University, 19 years of age. Played for Medicine Hat a year ago in the juniors and won the whole enchilada. Good for him. In 29 games, 14 points and a -3 for Boston University. It's a Ryder Ritchie. And, Zeev Buyamwatch, what the hell, right? 6 points in 20 games and a -8 for the Schmucks, Vancouver Canucks. Justin Kipke, 11 points in 28 games, a -12 for Arizona State. He's a 20-year-old first-year college player. Carter Klippenstein, the horror movie actor. No, I'm just kidding. It just sounds like it. Or a character. Third, Carter Klippenstein, rated R, in theaters everywhere. Okay, sorry. 38 games, 11 goals, 17 assists, 28 points, which matches last year's high. 20 less games so far, and he's a +1 versus a +20 last year, all for the Brandon Wheat Kings in the Western Hockey League. So, interesting. Liam, I keep screwing that up. Liam Amadovsky. All right, career high for him. So 1 point more than last year now. 33 points in 49 games and a +1 versus a -10 last year. So good. Right shot, right winger, but not a point-a-game guy yet, unfortunately. Adam Bennick, 57 points, 23 goals, 34 assists, +20 for the Brantford Bulldogs in 35 games. He's doing great at the WHL level. We'll see what happens next. Youngest guy in the whole system, Theodor Hulkvist, still at 3 points in the junior level for Sweden. Minor pro level. 28 games, 3 assists, and a -13, unfortunately. So with that, we're going to take a quick break and return with fan interaction. And we are back here on Brave the Wild. Going to look at fan interaction quick here. Shouldn't be too long of a show, even though I've enjoyed doing it very much. Yep, M&W Young Guns, they were talking about Samuel, the goaltender there. He was the starting Slovakia Olympic goaltender against Finland. He had the shutout. So 18 saves. Doing good. 18 saves in the first period. He had the shutout in the first period. Actually stopped 39 shots, and the Slovakia team won 4-1 over Finland, which is a pretty good upset. 39 saves. He says, I like it when you get so many shots at the start. It gets you going, and right away, when you get that many shots in the first period and you don't get scored on, you know it's going to be a good night. So, okay, I wish that could happen more in Iowa, but so thank you, Samuel. Good job. Just don't do that to the U.S. team, I suppose, but do that in Iowa some more, and maybe for the Minnesota Wild. Maybe you will be for the Minnesota Wild someday, at least a backup goalie or something along those lines. A great episode, most recently by Derek Pelska, was a really good one. The latest episode came out last weekend. Yep, it was a lot of fun, so I was sure to retweet it, and I appreciate Derek retweeting Brave the Wild episodes. Obviously, check out that Crease Assist podcast. It's really good. So, highly recommended. M&W Young Guns, also highly recommended. You give them a follow. They keep up with the prospects and do a wonderful job. So really appreciate them. And even, that Samuel is still basically a prospect because he's 23. He'd be an older prospect. So for my little poll, again, this is going to be a short show, so it is what it is. At least we're putting out a show, so that's the fun part. Who is your Minnesota Wild midseason MVP? Feel free to comment. And if things get more active, I'll probably read more stuff on the next episode because I didn't post it till yesterday, which is kind of dumb. But odds are it's probably not going to get too crazy, though. 4 people retweeted, so I really appreciate that. I should give shout outs to those people right here and right now. It's taking 20 minutes to get there. Emin Johan, Jay Bushy, Pasco. Yep, Hersinger and Kalisha Turnipseed. Maybe Derek didn't see it, but that's okay. So next episode, maybe there'll be more there. Maybe if Derek retweets or whatever. Or otherwise, I'll just have a new poll up and probably at an earlier time. I'm not going to wait till like the day before, which is real dumb. So that's dumb on my part. I dropped the ball there. So I've been dropping the ball way too much lately, and I'm annoyed with myself. Come on, why can't I get to oh, they're already there. Okay, there's Derek. So he says, I voted for Quinn Hughes. He's a force multiplier, while Kaprizov and Boldy have been pretty solid this season. Hughes turns the Wild into a contender. We had one of the least potent blue lines offensively, and now having one of the best. Faber's resurgence is an example. Yep, so I agree with that 1,000,000%. So yes, I agree with Derek. I think Quinn Hughes is the MVP for this season, most likely. So far for the half season, I'm probably going to give it to him at the end of the year, the way things are headed. Morty responds with, come on, get out of the way. Not you, Morty, but something else. Hughes hasn't been in Minnesota very long. I'm waiting to see if he's any good. I'm guessing it's a little sarcasm there. So the candidates were Kirill Kaprizov, Quinn Hughes, Matt Boldy, and Brock Faber. Matt Boldy is the strong leader right now after a pretty good number of votes. So nice, solid number for just like a day. That's pretty good. So, yeah, I'll put out the number. Yeah, usually I try to keep it quiet unless it's like some massive number. But 33 votes in a day is pretty good. So I'll take it. And if there's more, great. Matt Boldy is the leader, 57.6%. Wow. Quinn Hughes coming in second, 27.3. Kirill Kaprizov, 15.2. And the leaves Brock Faber with 0. But, well, at least I put him there, I guess. And I think Brock Faber's a wonderful player. And last year he probably could have been last year he kind of was the MVP practically, even though he actually had a sophomore slump at times during the course of the year last year, playing hurt and stuff, unfortunately, the poor guy. But did a great job, to say the least. I believe he had a broken rib for an extended period. Obviously, that takes time to heal. Matt Boldy's the leader so far. So that's where we stand with things. Want to thank all of you for listening to the show. Those of you that retweet, I thank you so much. Obviously, Crease Assist, Derek retweets all the time, so it's not like I don't think he dropped the ball. I think I did by waiting too damn long. So that's on me. That's on me. I think this poll would have probably gotten more votes and more interaction if I pushed it out earlier. So I'll do one later, and if you still want to comment on all that on this one, I'll more than likely jump back to it and continue where we left off with it, because it's a fun poll. I think maybe I'll come up with a more interesting question though, instead of just season MVP stuff. But hey, it's interesting to say the least, and it is cool to see people's response. Matt Boldy's the leader, strong leader. Maybe Quinn Hughes will catch up. With that said, thank you so much for listening. Huge shout out to M&W Young Guns, of course, Crease Assist Podcast, Minnesota Wild Global, Patrick Turner over there, Minnesota Wild Nation. So really appreciate all of you so much, and we'll be back next week. We might as well keep this rolling. We got to get our hockey fix here on Brave the Wild. Hopefully the U.S. teams continue to march towards the gold.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.